Welcome back to episode 58 of Off the Wall Podcast. Melo, Bobby, Kyle, we are all here. Before we start, and we'll move past this. This won't be more long, but before we get into the topics, I just want to send my condolences out to the family and victims of the mass shooting that took place in Monterey Park, California. Listen, mass shootings in this country, it's a horrible thing. Unfortunately, it's kind of part of life here in America now. It seems like one happens every anytime you look up on the news, another mass shooting has happened. But this one hits closer to home because it was in my backyard. You guys may have not know this, but Monterey Park, California, where they shot up the dance studio, that's a 12-minute drive from my house. So the whole community here is very heartbroken and devastated. I remember I would play I would play Little League baseball in the town literally right next to it, Alhambra, California, and a lot of times we would have to go play games in Monterey Park, or we'd have baseball events, or we have parades and stuff in Monterey Park. So that hit very close to home over the weekend. Um, Sucks that it happened, and I'm just sending my thoughts and condolences to everybody. So
Yeah, I mean, not much else to say, but it's scary, especially like you see it on the news. But of course, me and Kyle just saw it, but didn't really think too much of it. But then when you kind of know someone that it's very close to, like you, like it kind of makes it more real than anything. It's very scary, but yeah,
Yep.
thanks.
yeah,
That was a great job, Mel.
thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah, it's one of the it was another reminder over the weekend that listen, man, just call your loved ones, tell them you love them, make sure they're doing okay because you never know. You just never know.
100%.
yeah,
Yep.
But anyways, moving on. Um, we had a Hall of Fame vote today.
yes, we did.
Um, I want to hear what you guys have to say first. I'm not big on Scott Rolen. I'm really not. To me, he's kind of in the really Hall of really good. He's
Mhm.
not. I'm happy for him. Don't get me wrong, but to me, he's Hall of really good. I want to hear what you guys think.
Kyle, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
So, Mello, I had kind of the same reaction. I'm not mad at it, but I'm not mad at him getting in though.
Me either.
Um, it's hard to say, just because of some of the names that were on the board to be able to get in. Scott Rowland really, I mean, he was kind of one of the top of the list in my opinion. Um, but I mean, he's in. Happy for him. I Amazing defense at third base. He always had that. He was always a glove first third baseman. And his bat was always consistent his entire career. From the moment he broke the big leagues to the moment he hung him up. He was always consistent. So I'm not mad at it, but I do 100% see where you're coming from, Melo.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you said, there are probably off the top of my head, probably like five or six guys that I would have voted, maybe even more than that, that I would have voted for to get in. Probably even more than that, actually. He would have been on the list, but he's not at the top of my list. I like Scott Rowland. I do think he's a Hall of Famer, but I do think there are other. He shouldn't have been the only one that got in. That's what I think. But congrats to him, amazing career. Todd Helton came up short, just 72% of the vote, I think. Right?
72.2%.
Yeah.
He'll get there
Billy
next year.
Wagner. Billy Wagner moved up a ton. He deserves to get in. Um, Jeff Kent is still so low. I
That's
think
a
he
joke.
deserves to be in. I mean, yeah, we probably, you know, do we want to go through each I don't know if we want to go through each person who we think deserves to be in, but
I
I
mean,
don't know.
listen, I've been saying this for years, but this is the second time that I'm saying this on this platform at Around the Diamond. It is an absolute joke that Jeff Kent is not in the Hall of Fame. I can't believe that he didn't even crack 50%. I know 75 is the magic number, but not even to get 50% of the vote. I think that's a joke. And you can put his stats up against Rolen. He's
Yes,
kind of better than him.
yeah. I mean, just to play devil's advocate though, like I guess the defense, that's the big argument there, comparing those two. But Scott Rowland, I mean, no, I'm sorry, excuse me. Jeff Kent is clearly, there's no debate that he is the best offensive second baseman of all time. There's probably no debate there, right? I think that's pretty consensus. I can't speak right now, but I mean, what did he end up with? 46.5%, right? And the same with Carlos Beltran too. He got the same percentage as him. Jeff
He'll
Kent
get in.
deserves more than that. You think he'll get in?
He'll get in.
I was surprised to see Sheffield get 55%. I would think that Kent should get more than him. Andrew Jones,
I
what are
was
we
gonna bring
doing?
him up.
What are we doing? He
I was,
deserves to be a
yeah,
Hall of Famer.
100%.
He's one of the best like two-way players of his generation. What, maybe like 10 gold gloves, I think, something like that. Over 400 home runs. That's a joke. He better get in eventually because that's ridiculous. And I mentioned before Billy Wagner. I'm sure he'll get in. I mean, he's trending in the right direction, but 68% this year. Hopefully next year he gets in, but he's taking way too long too. I just don't get the Hall of Fame voting sometimes, man.
Me
It's
neither.
very inconsistent. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I
I don't. Sorry,
good.
I don't get it either. Um, I really thought we weren't gonna get anyone else in. I really thought it was just gonna be Fred McGriff and that was it.
Mhm.
Didn't seem like it was trending to get anyone in this year, but I was relieved that somebody else got in this year. And I mean, these are gonna start opening up for some of these guys
Mhm.
because we got some newcomers next year. I don't know if I just touched on it. I'll just mention it real quick. Some
Yeah.
newcomers we got next year: Adrian Beltre, Joe Mauer, Chase Utley, David Wright, Bartolo Colon, Matt Holliday, Adrian Gonzalez, Jose Bautista, Jose Reyes, John Lackey. Oh no!
Interesting.
Hang on, take
We're
John
s-
Lackey out. But
Yeah, yeah,
we're starting to get more into our generation.
yeah,
yeah.
I'm
It's
starting to feel
kind.
old now.
I mean, it goes without question. We don't have to get into next year's ballot, but Adrian Beltre should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no question about that. With the other guys on that list, I'm not sure. I Who else did you just mention?
Chase Utley,
Mm.
David Wright, Bartolo Colon. He should just get in just because of him, just himself. Just just for hitting
The
that one
fan
home run,
favorite
he
Hall
should
of
just
Fame.
get in. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, looking at next year, Adrian Beltre should definitely get in. I don't think like that's not even question. He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Probably the most underrated player of that generation, really. I mean, he's just unbelievable. Um, but it was funny looking at this year's ballot. We don't have to stay on the Hall of Fame talk, but the guys who got one vote this year. Did you guys see this? I thought it was hysterical.
I did not.
Houston Street got one vote. Mike Napoli got one vote. John Lackey got one vote. R.A. Dickey got one vote. And Bronson Arroyo got one vote.
All right, Dickie, man. I used to love watching him.
Me too. But seriously, listen, I was a fan of most of those guys. But if you voted for those guys to be in the Hall of Fame, come on. You got to get your vote taken away. They're not Hall of Famers. If you're the sole person to vote for one of those guys to get in the Hall of Fame, what are you doing?
Yeah, and you're taking away votes from some of these other guys that actually have a
Yeah,
pretty good case.
yeah.
But
I don't know. And me and Kyle's good friend Jacoby Ellsbury failed to
Hmm.
receive a vote. Hate to see that.
Hmm.
if we're gonna do that, my good friend Andre Ethier did not even get one vote.
I'm surprised. Matt Cain was another one who didn't get a vote. If those other guys got one vote, why didn't Matt Cain get a vote? I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I don't know. But yeah, no, I just thought that was funny that those few players got one vote. But yeah, any other surprises, takeaways from the ballot?
I will say that going off of what you said, Melo, the Hall of Fame class next year, you have Adrian Beltre, and then I hate to say this because they're all extremely good players, but after Beltre, it kind of dwindles down a little bit. And that's where you have guys like Jeff Kent who will have a more, Billy Wagner who will have more of a chance
Well,
to get in.
wasn't this like Jeff Kent's last year on the ballot?
This was his last year.
Mm,
So now he has to get
okay.
it the way McGriff got it
Which
through.
I could see
Yeah,
He
100%.
better.
but he should have been in already a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed that Roger Maris isn't in the hall, but that's a conversation for another time.
Billy Wagner, final year next year.
I could
Last
see it.
chance.
Interesting.
Oh, I also wanted to ask you guys this. Do you think Todd Helton's chances are being dwindled just because he's a Coors product?
For sure. Yeah. I think
Okay.
I think that hurts whoever plays in Colorado. But
Do you guys agree
Larry
with that?
Walker
I don't
got in.
agree with it. What'd you say,
Okay,
Melo?
that was
Larry
my
Walker got in.
Yeah, he did eventually. But if
Took
I
him a
remember
while too.
correctly, yeah, I was gonna say it did take him a while. He definitely deserves it though. I don't have the home road splits out in front of me or his stats in general, but he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think it's crazy that he's not. Um, I was just looking at next year because I knew that there was a name that I was interested in, but I forgot what you had said before. Joe Mauer.
Eh,
How do you guys feel about that?
Hall of really good.
I'm with
It's
you on
probably
that, Mello.
yeah. It sucks because
Joe
if
Mauer
he
is so
stayed
loved.
catcher, oh my, he was one of my favorite players.
That's what
He
I'm
was amazing.
saying. I mean, he was the face of baseball for a while. I
Yeah.
mean, at least from the catcher's position, because I mean, there was two MLB The Shows that had him on the cover. I mean, he was very beloved, but I hate to say it, but I do think I agree with you on that, Mello.
Yeah. No, I
Six-time
probably
all six-time All-Star, won an MVP.
we haven't seen a catcher, a hitting catcher like that. Like since him, like he was just one of a kind. There was no one like him.
Mm-mm.
He batted 365 one year. Was that his MVP year? Probably. Yeah. Yeah, 365 the year before that, 328, 347 a couple years before that. Like that's unbelievable. He was so much fun to watch.
And his defensive stats were pretty damn good.
Yeah, man.
Well, I
Yeah,
heard this. I heard this. Sorry, I heard this on MLB Network today. That now that Scott Rolen is in the Hall of Fame, now that kind of opens up. You know, nobody's voting for Scott Rolen anymore, obviously, because he's in. So now maybe these other votes will start going to Todd Helton. Will start going to Billy Wagner, and then next year when these other guys get on the ballot, they'll start getting some votes. So
mhm.
there's a pathway now. But
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's like if it takes you 10 tries to get in the Hall of Fame, you really deserving of it?
But that's the flaw with the Hall of Fame. Why is Scott Rolen deserve hold on, let me reset. Why does Scott Rolen deserve this year? Deserves to get in more this year than he did last year. He hasn't played in 15 years or whatever it's been, or 10 years. Like it just doesn't
Be-
make sense to me
Well,
why guys don't get in right away.
well, because now the steroid users are off now.
Yeah, but like even
A-Rod's still there.
yeah, and Manny. But it just the Hall of Fame just doesn't make sense to me when guys go up and down in votes. Like, why vote for a guy? Maybe he'll get in the fifth, sixth, or seventh time. He should get in right away. Like, he hasn't, nothing has changed his playing stats or anything like that, or the way he goes down in history. He's stopped playing X amount of years ago. I just don't get that. I hate that about the Hall of Fame. Like, oh, he'll eventually get in, not the first ballot. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I hate that's one of my pet peeves about the Hall of Fame. I don't
It's a pretty good one. Didn't
Hey,
even think of
thanks.
that. Yeah, their stats don't change, buddy. There's
I
each
don't
in row
know.
in 2 years too. That'll be fun.
Unanimous?
I could see it.
Yeah.
Could be. Um, any other things from the Hall of Fame before we move on?
Jeff Kent will have his day. Manny Ramirez is the best hitter out of this group.
Yeah, I yeah, I think I agree with that for sure. Will he ever get in?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
About A-Rod.
No,
You guys think he'll get it eventually?
Hell
no
no.
way.
And I hope he
No.
doesn't.
Whoa.
Oh,
Sorry, I have a thing against PD users.
okay. World Series
Again.
champion Alex Rodriguez
Dude,
with the
I,
New
I
York Yankees?
I even hated him on the Yankees, man. I was a Jeter guy growing up.
Should have
Come
went to Boston instead.
on.
Makes
Oh man.
sense.
All right. I mean, Melo, I'm sure you're gonna have fun with this next topic.
Oh,
Artie Moreno. No longer, is that how you pronounce his name?
Arte Moreno, that is correct.
No longer selling the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He is here to stay.
Anaheim Angels.
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. But it's cool. Yeah, no, it's fine. I included the Anaheim in there. But Angels fans were excited. They were supposed to get a new owner. Then he said, psych. No longer. No longer happening. Mello, take that away. I know you're gonna like to talk about this. Your fellow Angel fans around you.
Um, Shohei Ohtani, you are a Los Angeles Dodger. Oh, when I saw that tweet come out yesterday, I was ecstatic. Shohei Ohtani, let's start printing the jerseys now. Let's start advertising Ohtani. Come to the other side, my friend. Listen, I don't understand how Artie Moreno, you love power so much that you can walk away. And I don't know if you guys heard this. You can walk away from potentially selling the Angels for $3 billion. I don't understand how you can still stay in power and control this team because he has a lot of say so in the moves that are made, in the front office decisions. Control. I don't understand how you can walk away from it. I feel bad for Angel fans. I do. I know it doesn't sound
You
like it,
do?
but
Okay.
yeah, I am. The Anaheim Angels, not the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Not that crap. But I mean, listen, the circus is in Anaheim. You know, you go Disneyland and then Angel Stadium. You want to go to the circus and to see Mickey Mouse in one day, you can do that. But again, they're like the Angels continue to shoot themselves in the foot. And now Shohei Ohtani is gonna leave next year or this year if he gets traded, and then you're wasting the back half of Mike Trout's career. Doesn't make sense to me how this guy continues and doesn't want to, and just pulled back selling this team. I don't think he wanted to. I think he got pressured into it. That's my thing. But hey,
You
man,
think he
it's.
got pressured into selling it?
I think he got pressured into selling.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, $3 billion. But I forget where I saw this. It might have been on one of the Super Halo Bros comments or something like that, because I know they were talking about this. But I feel like someone had said, do you think, again, this could be completely wrong, completely off. Do you think that Moreno might use this as like kind of motivation that everyone wanted him gone, right? And then now that he's not selling the team, maybe he's gonna stick it to the not stick it to the fans, but be like, you know what, I can actually build a winner. I might care about winning now. Maybe, probably not, but if someone wants to hear some optimism. Maybe that's his mindset. Probably not, but I'm just throwing it out there. Um, yeah, I don't know. That kind of sucks for Angels fans, though. I don't know. I don't know. What number is Shohei gonna wear for the Dodgers?
17. He can wear whatever he wants, to be honest with you, as long as we get him in that Dodger uniform. But
Yep.
it's laughable. I don't understand why he just didn't want to sell the team. But I mean, you just said motivation. Where's that motivation been for the last 22 years?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I was trying to feed some optimism to Angels fans. I don't believe it. I don't actually.
As long as he continues to make his money through revenue,
Mhm.
why give up your team?
Right. Yeah, you're right. I
And I
don't know
and, and
though.
I and one more thing, and I've said this a thousand times, and I'm gonna say it one more time, and I want everybody to watch out for this coming season. If the Angels get off to a bad start again, the All-Star game in Seattle is gonna be so interesting because you know Shohei Ohtani's gonna be there. The trade deadline is gonna be looming 2 weeks after that. Kind of like what happened to Juan Soto when he came out here to LA. There's going to be so much pressure on the front office of the Angels and Shohei Ohtani. He's going to get bombarded with questions. Hey, are you going to sign with the Angels this offseason? Do you want to get traded? Do you not want to be here anymore? What do you want to happen? Only if the Angels get off to a bad start and they're out of it by the All-Star break.
And I mean,
Just they realistically are going to be.
exactly. I didn't want to say it, but
I'll
you
say
know.
it for you. So
Yeah, I
just
don't
look
know.
out for that in this season. And
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated to see how Shohei Ohtani handles this
I was
because he
just
will
gonna
get
say
asked
that.
those questions if they get
Mhm.
off to a bad start this season.
Maybe he just doesn't bring in his interpreter, and he says, I don't know, to avoid all that.
I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know. I don't understand what he's saying. I don't.
But he says that all in English. I don't know what you're saying. That's like how uh did you ever hear about that? How Ichiro actually knew how to speak English, or like he knew how to speak English better than he kind of have you ever heard this?
Never heard of it.
That he like I think I'm telling this right. He knew like English pretty well, but sometimes he just kind of, if he didn't want to answer questions or stuff, like kind of just blew it up. I'm 99% sure that's accurate. But I'm pretty sure that there was a story about Ichiro like that came out. I don't know. But anyway, um what else did we want to hit on? There's oh, Pablo Lopez trade. Pablo Lopez, Luis Ariz. Um yeah, I mean Twins got a huge starter in Pablo Lopez, and Marlins got a good bat in Luis Ariz. Got a Melo, or you guys have anything? I mean, it wasn't really crazy, but it was just the biggest transaction of the week, I'd say.
I love this move for the Marlins.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not saying they won the trade, but I am saying that they had an overabundance of pitching. They needed another big bat in their lineup. And they got Luis Ariz. Um, I don't know. I feel like the Marlins are slowly coming together. And then right after I said that I liked the trade, they moved Jazz Chisholm to center field. Um, but the moves that they did make this offseason, adding Segura, um, and now Arise, already with Jazz. I don't know. I think it's going to be fun to watch the Marlins this year. I'm not saying they're going to make any noise, but they're going to be much better than they were last year. And it's going to be fun to see. And Pablo Lopez is finally gone, so we don't need to hear any more of those rumors.
yeah. I mean, they're definitely going to be entertaining. It sucks that they're in a great division like that,
Yeah,
but they'll definitely win some games. Maybe they'll be a spoiler.
I like it. I don't know. I like that Marlins team.
Yeah. I feel like if you're just coming into baseball, I think
Hmm.
you should be a fan of the Marlins because it's not like a bandwagon yet, but they have a bright future. And yeah. And speaking of Jazz Chisholm, did you see that he's no longer playing in the World Baseball Classic?
I did see that.
Very unfortunate. Now we can't see him play for Great Britain.
Damn.
Yeah,
This is news to me. I swear I didn't hear that.
yeah, it just came out this morning, I think.
Oh,
Um, and also another more WBC news. Acuna is not playing for Venezuela. Um, there was someone else, somewhat big, but yeah, I think those were the biggest.
Trevor Story, no.
Well, I mean,
He's
he was.
We,
replaced by
we
Jeff McNeil, right?
Oh, actually, when
is
did
that
that happen?
confirmed?
I believe so. If I'm
Really?
not mistaken, the Mets
I
tweeted it
didn't see
out.
that at all. Really?
Oh, they
I did
did?
not see
Okay.
that
Yeah,
at all. That's awesome. Okay,
yeah.
that's cool.
I
That's
think it's
kind of sick.
awesome. I love Jeff
Yeah,
McNeil.
I I didn't even put two and two together that Trevor Story was playing. Like I forgot that he was even playing.
I'm almost 100% positive that I saw the Mets tweet that out.
I guess I completely missed that. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's cool. Nice.
I think
Um,
MLB Network is supposed to like announce the rest of the teams like next week or something. Or February 7th, something like that. That's what I saw.
but don't they? Can't you like? What do you call it? Don't they? Can't they not finalize a roster, or or can they finalize the ro? Is that when they're finalizing the roster? I guess. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, you guys got anything else?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Countdown. Oh,
I mean, I guess I got something. This doesn't
oh boy.
pertain to Kyle or Bobby because they're not a fan of the Dodgers, but Dodgers did release like their promotion schedule today, and I'm very excited for it. Something new that they're gonna try this year. Every night, every Friday home game at Dodger Stadium is Friday night fireworks. This year, they're gonna be trying Friday night drone shows. I'm very interested to see that.
Wow.
Drone shows.
Drone shows.
So what is a drone show?
They didn't give any details. They just said Fridays we're gonna do drone shows too. Still gonna be the fireworks, but they're kind of like gonna trade off a little bit. They'll mix it in once in a while, but
Interesting.
so
Interesting. Yeah, so that's it. Look forward to the drone shows every Friday night at Dodger Stadium. Countdown to WBC.
I hear Trevor Bauer's helping us with the shows.
It's got yeah, yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
you could ask him for that. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. I'd say we wrap it up right there. Perfect way to end it. Episode 58 or whatever it is in the books. See you guys next week. Matt will be back. Feel better.
Feel better, Matt.
Yep.
Peace.
Later.
Adios.